of Turkey for his statement. The representative of the Syrian Arab Republic has asked for the floor to make a further statement. I give him the floor.
Mr. President, the Ottoman Empire started with invading Syria in 1516, as you all know. However, Syrians, known for their patience, destroyed the Ottoman Empire in 1916 after 400 dark years of Ottoman occupation. Today, as you have seen, the Turkish representative threatened us once again very arrogantly. He deems himself above the law. Our disagreement is not with the Turkish people. Our disagreement is with the Erdogan party that sponsored terrorism in my country. Our disagreement is with the sponsors of terrorism in Turkey, because this terrorism destroyed civilian infrastructure in my country and led to the death of millions of people. And I told you in my statement, the Turkish regime cut the water from the governorate of Al-Hasaka, where 600,000 people live. The Turkish representative cannot be speaking on behalf of the Syrian people. Only the Syrian government speaks on behalf of the Syrian people. Not him, nor his leader, nor his government can be speaking on behalf of the Syrian people. We are the representatives of the Syrian people in this international organization. The Syrian government is not waging a war against its own people. We are in a legitimate war against terrorism, against the sponsors of terrorism, Qatari, Saudi, Turkish sponsors. They're the proxies. But the original sponsors are even more dangerous, the original sponsors in the West. My country is a victim of an unprecedented terrorist project that targets a legitimate government by investing in terrorism. You've all seen what happened in Iraq. Terrorism was instrumentalized in Libya. There was investment in terrorism, even in other countries. Wherever you look, there are footprints of the Turkish regime in sponsoring terrorism in various countries. Of course, I can speak about this issue at length, but in the interest of time, we have now seen that the Turkish representative has addressed the Astana framework. He said the Astana framework is no longer viable, but the contrary is true. It is the most important framework because the Astana framework compels the Turkish regime to combat terrorism and to separate terrorism from what is called opposition. We have no problem with civilian opposition because we deal with the civilian opposition in Geneva, and there is a special envoy, Peterson, and before him, de Mistura, and before him, Al-Brahimi. We have no problem with non-armed opposition, civilian opposition. We must separate these two. The Syrian government has the right to combat terrorism that is sponsored by Qatar and Saudi Arabia and Turkey and other countries. The Astana framework is what led to the current situation, peace and security and safety in most Syrian territories. This is why Turkey wants to take distance from the Astana framework, because they want to persist in their terrorist project in Syria. Thank you, Mr. President.
Je vois qu'il n'y a
I see there are no more names inscribed on the list of speakers. So on that note, the meeting is